Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys how to make my Thor hammer effect that I will be posting soon, or by the time you watch this, probably already posted. But so what I did was, I don't actually need to do that. I don't know why I did that, but what I did was I found a Thor hammer effect and I recorded. So this is the one I found. You can just find it on Sketchfab, pretty easy. Activate add-on, and you just search up Thor's hammer, and then you go down to this one. It's a bit weirdly positioned, but after you reposition it should work. This one, same exact one as this one. So you click on the camera, and as you can see, the whole video should start playing. So this is what I did after following a tutorial from this guy, Alfie, whatever, I don't know how to say his last name, but I'll link this tutorial below. All he did was he added trackers, and he did lots of different tricks to make it so you can like put your hammer and makes it look realistic. So only thing he didn't cover, which I want to cover, is the lightning. That's a pretty difficult thing, I tell you. I didn't know how to do it. It took me like a whole day to realize that there's an easier way to do it than, you know, in Blender, right? So I tried in Blender, I tried everywhere else. It just doesn't work in Blender. Just don't do it in Blender. So after you follow his thing, and you figure everything out, and you get to this point, what you do is you go in After Effects, and then you use the rotor brush tool to rotor brush around the hand, and you go frame by frame to fix it. And as you can see by the video I posted, I'll play it on the screen. It didn't come out so good for me, but I felt like, bro, I've been working on this for so long, I'm not redoing it. But you know, whatever. After you rotor brush it and you put it in front and add the shadows, then it will look good. So I'm going to open After Effects right now. Also, don't forget to change the colors to 32-bit per second, which you can find in the preference and project setting, and you go a little bit to the side and you can change it to 32-bit. Now I have nothing here. So my favorite area I did was here. I ended up being able to track this part somewhere around here, and this was very good. So I'm gonna motion track it, right? Take the tracker, and I'm gonna put it right up there. I like this one so much that I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna say right about here or something, and I'm gonna track backwards. It takes some time, but after it's done and it comes out good, it looks good.
So I hope you could hear that because my mic is very quiet these days, but you know, it's okay. So as you can see, the tracking is getting done pretty quickly actually. Okay.
Okay, it doesn't do good on the end, but I don't mind because I start, in the start, I don't really do anything to the lightning, so I'm going to add the lightning right about here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new null object, and then I'm going to edit the target to the new null 2, right? And then okay, apply X and Y, and it's all right, and it's all good. And so I'm going to add a new solid, black solid, and then, sorry for the noise, so somebody vacuuming downstairs. And then, so there will be advanced lightning right here, advanced lightning, click solid, and this is what comes up, and they're like, oh my god, what do I do? It's so confusing, but it really isn't. But the glow radius is good. I'll change the glow settings later. Glow radius is, it's decent. I'll change this to ratchet definition. I'll change it closer to a bluish, like, let's see, right about there. That's good. It's not completely white. And then the outside is going to be this type of bluish, right? Let's see, this is perfect. So this lightning is already pretty good. Only thing I'm going to change is the forking. I'm going to actually put it up a little bit, but like, actually no, I'm going to put it down. And then, so you have this whole massive thing, and you have this origin, whereas this first part, also change this to strike, so it's better. And then you have this whole thing, and then you can control it by these points, and then you have this. So now, to put it onto the track I just made, null 2 right here, right? I'm going to do, go into the origin, alt-click on it, and then you have this, click out of that, and as you can see, the null 2, you click on P, and then you have the position. So, origin, I'm going to use this thing, and I'm going to put this down to the origin. I'm going to put that down to the position, not the origin. It's kind of confusing. But then, now as you can see, it's sticking on there, right? Now the only problem is I don't know why this thing moves a lot. There's some settings I want to change. Like the turbulence is a bit too much. I'm gonna put the turbulence down. See, the turbulence I can add later, it doesn't matter. So the turbulence, I maybe put it up to a 1 or so. Oh no, that's too much already. Okay, so then the forking is alright, the decay is alright, and then the expert settings, there's some stuff you can change here. I don't know if I really want to though. Let me see. Okay, it just looks like it's fading out. Fading out a little bit. It looks decent, I mean, okay. It's good there, and then it works, right? So I'm gonna cut it off. Like here you don't want it, right? And then I want to start it right about here, so I'm gonna cut it off right there. And then this I'm gonna cut off like, okay, I'm gonna also take out the volume of my clip because it makes it distracting. No, take it off till right about there. Perfect. And now you have this monstrosity. You're like, bro, that doesn't look realistic at all. So what we do to make it realistic is now we open up advanced lighting, we click the direction, like the direction, right? And then you can move this. I like to make it so it clicks onto my hand, and I can change the conductivity state like this, as you can see. So what I'll do is I'll go here. This is my first frame, right? So what I'll do is on my first frame, I will click on the direction. As you can see, I'll click the stopwatch, I'll click U on my keyboard, and it will open up the direction down here so I can change the keyframes. And I'll go one keyframe and I'll make a keyframe. I'll go one frame and I'll make a keyframe, and same. So that's 3 frames of just keyframes, right? So this one I'm gonna go all the way back because it's not supposed to be there yet. And then, so this is invisible, and it goes from here to here, all the way here. That doesn't look too realistic, so I'm gonna make it go in the middle first, and then it's gonna go here. So then it looks like, now you're like, wow, that looks horrible, right? So there could be 2 things you could do. You could do the same thing where you can just track this thing to the finger, but I mean, you can do that, but I prefer to just like manually do it because you know it doesn't move too much. So I'll just go through here, and then I'll put it back down. See, as you can see now it doesn't, and then you can move it in between there. So now it's just pretty decent, and then you can move it up here. Okay, come on, see that. Just click on this, don't click on anything else because it might move the whole thing. That doesn't look good. And let's put this down, and then okay, let's put it up again, and then it's just following the finger if this is what you want to do. I mean, if you're using other ones, you don't have to track anything, you just leave it there, but that's not what mine is, so I'm just going through and fixing it, right? So this, and then go here, more of this, and then click it up there, and then way over here, back here, and then it just stops, right? So I feel like that's okay. And then that's the positioning of that. It looks alright and looks good. So it just this, right? Doesn't look that good. I just wanted to follow the finger, right? So to make it look much better, what we're gonna do is we're gonna click on the conductivity, and then also click U again, or 2 times, and then the conductivity will be right around here. And then we go to the end, right? The end. And then we click on the conductivity, and then you put it up to, I say 10. That looks the best. Look at this. Now that's what you want. Now we can add, there's still much to add. Like there's reflections, there's, like as you can see in my original video, my I didn't add that. I did add the reflections, so it looks much better. I'll play it on the screen right now. And then, so for reflections, all we do is we, first of all, duplicate the clip. I hope this works. We duplicate the clip, and then we click on fast box, oh no, linear wipe, sorry. Linear wipe, and then we're gonna take out the first one so I can see it better. And does it work? Oh no, don't do this. It works. So I'm gonna, it's just a very tip, right? So I might have to change that a little bit, but that's just a tip, and then make sure that happens. And if it doesn't actually go through, you might have to change the wide angle a little bit. And then after that, I'm gonna do fast box blur. Fast box blur, I'm gonna put this up on the horizontal. Put this up to a 10 or 15, and then I duplicate it on the vertical side, and then it's basically invisible. But then you add the exposure, right? Color correction, exposure, and then as you can see it now. Now it's a bit of a, it's this blue kind of reflection that's following your lightning, because it is your lightning. Some places it goes invisible, so sometimes I like to, like, you know, change it up, make it like, so some parts I would like to click on the exposure and then click U, and then so some parts it goes so low that I don't like it, so I'm gonna click higher on the exposure, so by that point it gets higher. And this part's way too high, right, as you can see. So then what I do is I'm gonna go right about here and I'm gonna make it lower. So now what I will do is I will basically play around with my exposure to make it look good, and then after I am done with my exposure on my other side of my hammer, I will go to the finger where the lightning connects to, which also needs a reflection, and what I'll do is I'll duplicate the layer, my black solid layer, and I will change my linear wipe settings so they affect the other side, and I will change my exposure and fast box blur settings so it looks good on my other finger. And after that we're pretty much done, and we'll have to go on to the hammer handle. As you can see, now we have a good effect of, you know, a reflection. But we need to do that again for the hammer handle. As you can see, there's also needing to be a reflection there because it doesn't look too good without a reflection there. So I'm gonna put down everything else beside the original. Wait a minute. Yeah, beside. So what I'm gonna do in this one is I'm gonna take out the linear. I'm gonna take out everything actually. Actually no, I'm not gonna take out everything. I'll just do this and I'll change the position. I'll change it a bit down, as you can see, and then I'll put way less on the exposure, way less, so I can actually put it out a bit more. This one you need to like keep the original space, and then the exposure goes down a bit. I'd say about that's good enough. And then what I'll do is I will change it a little bit because like, yeah, I'll change the. I took that out, didn't I? So I took out the linear wipe. I'm gonna put that back in because I don't need it too much, but I need a little bit of linear wipe. Like right about there, that's all I need about linear wipe. Maybe I'll duplicate it and then make it -90 and then put some linear wipe here too. Yeah, that's good. And then this is all on preference, basically. I don't know. So after that, that's like it, right? That's all we do. We had the lightning back. Okay, this position's a bit off. Okay, see, the only problem is I don't like, it can't cut off like that, so you gotta make sure it doesn't cut off. So only problem with this is that it sometimes cuts off, so you gotta put the, go like very less. This blur radius needs to be higher actually. And then the transition wipe is gonna be about that. I see that much. So what I need to do is I'm going to put a position keyframes so I can make sure it doesn't go too far off. To position keyframes, and add a position keyframe about here just to make it go a bit more down, and then right about here goes higher, we need to put it a bit more down too, a little bit. And then when it goes up there, we definitely need to make it go down, like down like this. And then when it goes down here, I recommend changing it right about here to go up, actually. Actually, I'll move it a frame higher. Put it a bit higher here, because I like it like that. And then this one, it goes off frame a little bit, so I'm going to put it down a bit more. And then this one might be the last bit of the lightning, but I'm going to do that too. And then this one's way too low, and then put that back up. So as you can see, at the end of the day, it looks alright. Actually, I'll change the box blur, make it more blur. I don't want it to make it look like this right there, right? So I feel like this didn't come out as good as the other one did, but you know, it does the job. Like, look, this one I feel like came out a bit better. But the lightning is good. The reflection is something you should play with because it's personal preference right there. So I only added 1 or 2 lightning, but like this is how the lightning looks. And you can do that. All you basically do. So what I recommend you do is you take all 4 or 3 or whatever. I say you take out the top one, because in most cases you won't need this top one. Actually, I put it on the bottom actually because that's the most bottom. And then these two, this I also put this on the, and this too. So this looks better. Now, as you can see, this bottom one, right? You don't need this for most of them. So what I do is you take all these and then you duplicate it, and then you put them on top, right? And then you move them to your different direction. And what I say is what I would say you to do, tell you to do is you take this and then you track it, motion track it, and then you motion track your next area, and then you do the same thing. You all you do is you take the position of each one of these and change it, parent it to the position of your new null. I would also recommend naming your null objects, right? And then that, so it gives you, like, click enter and name it like near hand track. I do that for most of my stuff, and as you can see, that's like the finishing result. Like, I haven't added it to everything yet because I already did that. Now, like, see here, it would go to the same area, but it's a bit off. I just had to change the parent and some keyframes, and then it will look exactly like the end product. But after you guys got that, that would be basically it. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Hey guys, I am now in Premiere Pro to fix my to add my sound effects. So what I've done is I've downloaded a few electricity, what is it? I've downloaded an electricity video with sound effects. So also wind sound effect, because that will help me on the background. I'll show you guys later. So as you can see, I've put this down, and then I have to put the rest down. So for this part of the video, all you do basically is that you take your effects and you line them up with your sound effect, with their clip. So when your lightning plays, you play the sound effect of the lightning or the electricity, and if it sounds good, then it sounds good. But if you guys think it doesn't sound that good, all you do is you download a wind sound effect and you put it under, and after you put it under, it takes out the cuts. And I also did something where I after lining it up, I faded out the volume with using the keyframes in the effects controls. If you guys think that worked, then that's good for you guys. So, wind sound. Okay, that sounds better. Okay, that's my video right there then, and I'll save it then probably as well. Let's see. hammer, and I'll say save. So I've saved it, and then I'll export it. Hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial, and I hope it helped you guys make your first visual effects scene. Also, don't forget to subscribe and check out the other guy's tutorial that I'll link below. Okay, bye guys.
I'm colorblind, yeah.